Feminism is a scam. A few years ago, I was an angry, blue-haired feminist. I once believed that male privilege was real and that I was a victim of the wage gap. Now that I understand the true motives of feminism, I know that this could not be further from the truth, and that modern-day feminism is a war on true masculinity. Before women had the right to vote, most were stay-at-home wives, which meant they weren't working jobs and couldn't be taxed. Our overlords didn't like that. Rockefeller started funding feminist campaigns in media, and as a consequence of the movement, women started entering the workforce and leaving the home. Children would then be separated from their parents and sent to Rockefeller-funded schools to be indoctrinated by the state. All of this ultimately disrupting the family unit at its core. Feminism is defined as the belief in social, economic, and political equality of the sexes. But in the West, I must ask, what rights do men have that women don't? Modern feminists are convincing women that hookup culture, using hormonal birth control, and not shaving is liberation. That toxic masculinity is prevalent and the patriarchy must be dismantled. Through movies and media, we're taught that working for the man, climbing the corporate ladder, and paying tax is more empowering and valuable than raising the next generation. Women have lost touch with our natural loving instincts, and birth rates are plummeting. Men and women are not the same. And by protesting for equality of outcome rather than opportunity, feminists are demonizing and emasculating men.
Shalom. Call Halayim La Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakat Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, to the Akim doing the work in truth and sincerity, as well as the few Akwat that listen and learn. And this is Brother Shawar with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And this is part 2 of The Most High is Not With Feminism. And in this part, I just want to deal with pretty much the marriage aspect of, you know, the relationship between a man and a woman, and then the purpose of it, and what Esau Edom, the so-called white man who was in rulership today, particularly the elites, the elite banking families, what they have turned it into, you know, and they've turned it into a weapon to, and before I even continue, man, everything you got to understand, everything they do is aimed at the Israelite man. You know, it's now, and I mentioned this in my last video, you know, it's affected everybody, but everything they do is aimed at the Israelite man. And this is now why the what you call the red pill, you know, it's manosphere guys, you know, are speaking out, and, you know, there's like a whole, I guess you could say, revolution of just masculinity. Really, it's the spirit of the Lord, it started with, you know, the apostles and elders, man. You know, they were the first ones to get on YouTube, really, and start, you know, going in on the women, you know, from the spiritual aspect, man, or from a spiritual angle. You know, that's really where it started, man. It's because it's the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai ultimately. But now, you know, you have a whole bunch of people talking about it because it's now affecting everyone else. You know, when it was just Jake being affected, you know, nobody cares, you know, that's how anything goes. But because now all the other nations, especially the Edomites, are being affected by it too, you know, it's a whole bunch of men speaking out, and movements like MGTOW and, you know, Red Pill, like I said, you know, because other nations are involved now. But nonetheless, that video, the first clip, man, that I just played, I'm gonna play another one. But it's facts, man. She was speaking facts. She was just dropping knowledge, man, because you see who's behind it. You know, and this is why, you know, and we don't like to get on the women really because, you know, at the end of the day, you know, we understand what's going on. This is the Lord putting us through this. You know, honestly, it's due to the curses, and women they're gonna get in order when all hell breaks loose anyway. You know, the women are gonna come regardless, man, because the Lord is, you know, Lord willing to be a part of the elect, man. The Lord is gonna, you know, a woman isn't gonna be it's gonna be a lasting on your mind, especially in the times that we're coming into in Jacob's trouble. You know, we're gonna have to survive, and you know, we're just not gonna be thinking about women. You know, matter of fact, man, Isaiah 4:1, you know, is going to take place, 7 women taking hold of 1 man, representing completion. So a complete number of women, man. And, you know, you're probably not even going to want to deal with women in that day. They're going to be more of a hindrance than anything. But it's still, these are still problems, man, that we touch on in the spirit because it's about edification. So like I said, I want to go into pretty much just again the woman's purpose, man, and then kind of connected to marriage, and Lord willing, it won't be too long. But let's get this in the book of Sirach to start out. Matter of fact, let me get this in Genesis, the 2nd chapter, before I get that. So this is Genesis 2:18. It reads, and the Lord power said, matter of fact, let me just read it like this, like you. And the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai said, it is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him an helpmeet for him. So, and helpmeet, man, that is point blank period, man. That is the purpose of a woman. It's because you see everybody has their role in your nation, in society. Even today, even though everything is all messed up, and Esau has made everything wicked and vain, and we're pretty much in servitude to the elites, but nonetheless, you still have a role to play in society that you play on a day-to-day basis, But in righteousness, man, when you deal with the nation of Israel and what the Lord is getting ready to restore, women have a place in the nation, man. They got a place a role to play, and it's an important role. But see, they've been taught to not. They basically been taught to hate that role, man. To hate everything that comes with being a helpmeet for a man. And this is how we live in a very satanic and wicked society, because it's all backwards, And there's women speaking out about it now because the Lord is turning the tides, man. Things are, righteousness is back in the earth, man. Starting with the hopeful elect, with our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Going back to Abba Bivens, really. And then so yeah, man, this is what's happening. The Lord is putting that spirit back into the earth, but these women are so far removed from their natural order that they truly believe that this is a bad thing. They really believe that being a helpmeet for your man is it's disgusting. They think it's they shit on it, man. They hate it. But this is the best thing you could be as a woman. But see, feminism, this is what feminism does, and it destroys the family. It destroys the family, which is the backbone to a society, which keeps a society pretty much, and a nation of people, more importantly, functioning, properly. Right. So let's get into it. This is Sirach 26, starting at the top. It reads, "Blessed is the man that have a virtuous wife, for the number of his days shall be double. A virtuous woman rejoiceth her husband, and he shall fulfill the years of his life in peace." Right. So the woman is supposed to be a man's peace, man. And let's get this word virtuous. Let's just look it up real quick. So this is just a Google definition, and it says virtuous, righteous, good, moral, morally correct, which is huge. A lot of women are just, a lot of people, but we're dealing with women right now, are just morally incorrect, man. Their morals, what they believe and what they stand on is either nothing, vain, or just wicked. And it's corrupt. It's corrupted the minds of the people, and that really goes back to Esau, Edom, the elites, as that the girl was talking about in the video. This is something that they were funding, and of course it was aimed at the Israelites, because they brought the so-called white people brought it over to Eve, man, and Eve ate it up, just like the serpent. Going back to the serpent in the garden, at the beginning, man, in Genesis, in the time of Genesis. So it's the same thing, man. Let's read a couple more of these traits, though. There's a lot, but see, let's go to when you go to 2, it says what? A virgin, which good luck finding a virgin. Chaste, maidenly, pure, free from sin, flawless, spotless, undefiled, uncorrupted, innocent, modest, decorous, wholesome. So there you go, man. And this is how women, are really supposed to be, man. This is how a woman used to be in the ancient world. As I said in my other lesson, it was it was honorable for a woman to, to be an actual woman, man, to serve a man, to have children, to help forward a man's legacy, to take care of the household, to nurture the kids. This is the role of a woman. There's nothing wrong with it, man. It's just, this is the nation. When you're dealing with any business or corporate, anything, anything that involves, an organization of people, there has to be order, man. There got to be some order. Then there's got to be certain roles, and certain things have to go a certain way, man, for it to work. And that's just in anything, and especially with a nation, man. You got to have certain roles. See, in the ways as Israelites, the so-called Negros, Latinos, and Native Americans, because we are Yasharala, man, the princes of the power. We have the ultimate blueprint, to run our business, so to speak, which is the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Heavenly Father. And you see what happens when we don't follow it, man. The whole world is in shambles. That's pretty much what it comes down to. But this is where the woman's place is, man. And the feminism has stripped them away from it. And ultimately, it's, they're getting the shitty end of the stick at the end of the day. That's really, that's what I think a lot of women are starting to realize through the Spirit. They're starting to see, this is stupid. Of course, majority isn't, but a lot of them are starting to see it's stupid. And as again, referring back to the clip, even that girl said she used to be on that feminist stuff, and she realized it's stupid. It's a hoax. Did her research, and, now she has what seems to be, a clear mind on, dealing with men or whatever. Because it's just an attack on the Israelite man's masculinity. All they're trying to do is suppress the Israelite man, stress the Israelite man, keep the Israelite man down, just take us out of who we are as much as they can. Because a man is supposed to be sovereign, man. We're supposed to have sovereignty. We're supposed to be, we're supposed to be able to move around how we want to, have multiple women. That's a part of our heritage. Be fruitful and multiply. It's the first commandment the Lord gave, man. It's in our nature, man. The Israelite man is the most fruitful man on the planet Earth. It's just in us, man. That's how the Lord made us to be. Hence being our nation being the sand of the sea, as the scriptures say. Meaning we have the biggest nation by far out of any other nation. But we can't be these things under this wicked rulership because of things like feminism. This is just, a big part of it. There's other reasons, but feminism is a big part of it because women, they make you trying to be a man just a million times harder, So let's continue to read. So go to back to Sirach, Ecclesiastes 26, and where were we at? We were at 4. No, we were at 3. Salakia, verse 3. A good wife is a good portion, which shall be given in the portion of them that fear the Lord. Whether a man be rich or poor, if he have a good heart toward the Lord, he shall at all times rejoice with a cheerful countenance. There be 3 things that mine heart, Salakia, there be 3 things that mine heart feareth, and the 4th I was sore afraid. The slander of a city, the gathering together of an unruly multitude, and a false accusation. All of these are worse than death. Verse 6, but a grief of heart and sorrow is a woman that is jealous over another woman, and a scourge of the tongue which communicateth with all. And that's, man, women get extremely jealous over you just looking at a woman in today's times, man. You could just, for the younger brothers to be on Instagram, social media, I know I've experienced it. You could just, you don't even got to like a picture. They could just see you looking at it, or they see it on your timeline or something, and they'll get super jealous and, it becomes a whole argument, or, they make a scene out of it. Like it just becomes something it shouldn't be. It should never be like that, man. You are a man, especially a man of not only an Israelite man, but a man of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. You know, that's who we are, man. It's in our nature, man. It is lawful for a man to have multiple women. It's not the wisest in these times, but nonetheless, man, that's in our nature. That's who we are. But here it is, women, you know, they shame you for it, man. They try and shame you for that. They try to make it seem like, you know, you guys play by the same rules when that's not the case at all. The Heavenly Father didn't make men and women the same, as we read in 1 Corinthians the 11th chapter. In the last video, the ordinance the Lord set up is Yahweh Shai, man, woman, and children. So the woman is not on the same level as the man. They're not equal, man. The man is over the woman. We don't play by the same rules. Even in the world's, you know, standards, you know, men and women aren't the same, man. It's just, no matter how you look at it, man, that's just what it is. But feminism teaches, it should be, as the girl read in her video, it's supposed to be equality of the sexes, but feminism really is trying to pedestalize women over the man. That's really what it's about, to keep the man down, especially the Israelite man. But you see, man, the scriptures, they give you the game. Scriptures give you the game, right? Let's see, verse 7. No, let's read that again. Verse 6, Ecclesiastes 26:6. But a grief of heart and sorrow is a woman that is jealous over another woman, and a scourge of the tongue which communicateth with all. An evil wife is a yoke shaken to and fro. He that hath hold of her is as though he has held a scorpion. A drunken woman and a gatherer abroad. This is describing women, you know, modern day women. This is how they are, and I'll break it down in a second. So a drunken woman and a gatherer abroad causeth great anger, and she will not cover her own shame. The whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids. If thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. And we read that. I got that precept in the last lesson, but I wanted to get through this, you know, the whole chapter. But these are traits that modern day women have today. These are things that they do. You know, a drunken woman, a gatherer abroad, meaning they're outside, man. They're always, you know, that's what, you know, especially the Judite women and Southern Kingdom women. They say, oh, we outside. You know, they embrace being a gatherer abroad. They drink. Most of these women drink more than men. You know, it's that hookup culture, man, and they embrace it. You know, they think, referring back to the video, that you know, hookup culture is empowering. They think that's liberation. No, you're destroying yourself as a woman. But this is the okie doke that Eve fell, you know, from the serpent. It's the same thing, man. It's the same, you know, Ecclesiastes 1:9, nothing is new under the sun. But they think, you know, they're empowered and they're having fun. You know, but they're fulfilling the flesh, so they may be having fun, but ultimately they're destroying themselves. You know, and it's wicked. And the Lord is going to, you know, he's bringing judgment for these things, man. He's bringing great judgment for these things. And to the sisters that understand, man, you know, may the Lord bless you, because, you know, it's beautiful that you understand and you're trying to be in order, you know, just like the men, you know. That's what you got to do. That's all we got to do, man. The Lord is going to reward us for that, men and women. But, yeah, we read verse 10. Okay, so verse 11. Yeah, verse 11. So it says, watch over and impute an eye, and marvel not if she trespass against thee. Right, man. See, because these women have been given so much liberty, you know, and dealing with marriage, I'm going to get into in a second. You know, pretty much adultery is okay for them based off how they feel. If they feel like, you know, they made the right decision, then, you know, adultery is almost praised. You know, in some cases it is, man, because, you know, women they can get away with anything for the most part in this society. You know, when really adultery is a sin worthy of death. And adultery is when a man has sex with another man's wife. Matter of fact, yeah, let me get it quick, and then we'll come back to this just because I want to clarify that. So this is Leviticus 20:10. It reads, "And the man that committeth adultery with another man's wife, even he that committeth adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death." So adultery is when he sleeps with another man's wife. Because it is lawful that a man can have multiple wives. And matter of fact, let me get one more precept before we go back to Ecclesiasticus to prove that. So this is the book of Exodus 21, and we'll start at 9. "And if he have betrothed her unto his son, he shall deal with her after the manner of daughters. If he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish." Right, so now we'll read verse 11 too. "And if he do not these three unto her, then shall she go out free without money." So a man has a responsibility to deal with this woman, especially when he has multiple wives, but it's in the law, as we just read. It's lawful for a man to have multiple wives, right? So that's what adultery is, when a man sleeps with another man's wife. And it's not what they push today. Just, if a man has a woman and, he sleeps with another woman that doesn't have a man, that's not adultery. That just makes that woman that man's other wife. Because, again, dealing with marriage, sex, what consummates the marriage truly is sex, is the act of sex. Right? That's really what it is. So yeah, man, back to Sirach. We'll finish this out in Sirach. Where were we at? Salakia. Okay, yeah, we were at verse 12. Oh, and also, Salakia, I wanted to touch on this point that I read in verse 11. It says, "Watch over an impudent eye and marvel not she trespass against thee," right? Because this is advice, man, spiritual advice, because, we understand and be having this wisdom, knowledge, understanding. We read these things, man, and but you don't, until you go through it, you're not going to truly understand. And the Lord is going to put us through it, man. So, and I've been through it, not too long ago, I've been through some crazy stuff with women. So, and I know brothers can attest to it, as, they can definitely relate. But nonetheless, man, you can't really, that's why you're not supposed to take anything in this world too serious, man, because it's all temporal, and it's pretty much, it's a slave package. Everything you get is part of a slave package, and that includes our women in this time. They're all used up. Their mindsets are all just messed up. They believe in, all this astrology stuff. A lot of these women are witches too. They just grew up all wrong, got daddy issues, which some of the responsibility falls on the man. But you get to a certain point, man, where you're grown and, you make better decisions for yourself. And these women, a lot of them don't even grow up. And, but let's just get back to the scripture. I just wanted to make that point real quick. So Sirach 26:12, it reads, "She will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler when he hath found a fountain, and drink of every water near her. By every hedge will she sit down, and open her quiver against every arrow." And that explains modern day women today to a T, especially the Israelite woman. Her mouth, and she opens her mouth as a thirsty traveler, and obviously we know what the fountain that she's drinking from is, man. That's other men. These women they're nasty, man. They think it's normal, though. They think they're equal to men, so they think they can do what men do. No. That DNA stays with that woman for the rest of her life. And this, there's a stat that I can't even remember exactly. Those guys, Fresh and Fit and all these manosphere guys, they bring it out all the time that pretty much women with higher body counts, but more promiscuous past, those women that get married, they have like a way higher chance of getting divorced because they can't pair bond. It's for a woman, it's just not in them, man. It's not in them to do it. They're really supposed to be with one man their whole life. That's how the Lord created them to be, man. That's why they get attached and their emotions are attached. When you have sex with them, man. And women are emotionally driven. So That's what happens, you know. That's what happens. They'll tell you themselves. That doesn't happen with men like that, man. Because that's not how the Lord made things to be. You know, nature will tell you, man. The Lord will tell you through nature how things are supposed to be a lot of the times. But what these women are, what? They're thirsty travelers, drinking from every fountain, you know, opening her quiver to against every arrow, you know, and you can understand that analogy. The quiver is what you put the arrows in. Yeah, because these women are nasty, man. These women, they're helping destroy the nation. You know, that's pretty much the whole point of me even bringing all this out. These Israelite women help destroy. They help Esau, our main oppressor, our main adversary, the so-called white man, the serpent. They're helping him destroy our people. You know, ultimately, they're not going to win. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai is obviously, you know, going to intervene and set things back straight, you know, through Jacob's trouble. And ultimately, the thermonuclear missiles, the destruction of this place in the kingdom of heaven. But this is what's happening, man. You know, we're living it. This is our reality. So let's finish this out in Ecclesiasticus, and then I'll play a next clip, and then deal with that a little bit, and then close it out. So this is Sirach 26:13. It reads, "The grace of a wife delighteth her husband, and her discretion will fatten his bones. A silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord, and there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed. A shamefaced and faithful woman is a double grace, and her continent mind cannot be valued right. As the sun, when it ariseth in the high heaven, so is the beauty of a good wife in the ordering of her house." Right, man. The woman's role is truly beautiful. They have a beautiful order when they're in order, and when they embrace it. They have a very important role, and it's beautiful, man, to see. It really is, because they have an important part in our nation, to nurture the home, nurture the kids. You know, that's and you know, they hate hearing these things. You know, women hate hearing these things nowadays, but that's the real, man. That's a very important thing. You know, and then in the clip, the first one I played, at the beginning of the video, she even said, you know, the women have lost they're so out of touch with their innate instinct to, you know, to be caring and to raise children, because it is in women to do it, but they pretty much go through this wicked phase for the most part, while in like, you know, their early teens and early 30s, where they're just, you know, pretty much they're just being whores, man. They're harlots, and then they it hits them at some point, and then they try to, you know, they either kind of stay doing that, you know, and trying to find the man through that, or it hits them and they, you know, they hit rock bottom, or, you know, at some point, you know, it all comes back to, you know, how the Lord made things. At some point, everybody's gonna be faced with the truth, and that goes, you know, even beyond this topic. You know, that goes with the whole gospel, man, with the truth, the words of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Everybody's gonna be confounded with the fact that this is the truth. So when a woman is in her order, man, it's beautiful, man. A woman could really help a man, she could really, you know, help a man stay focused, stay calm, you know, be at peace, ease him, you know, when he's stressing, especially in this world, man. A woman could really help a lot, man, just by being, you know, a true woman. And matter of fact, let me we could do that the next video. We could do that the next one. This one's getting a little lengthy, but it's the spirit. So yeah, man, that's the point of or that's how a woman should be dealing with a marriage. But the point of a marriage is so, you know, it's just the joining of households. You know, and I want to get this video because this guy talks about pretty much how the outlook on marriage now, you know, compared to what it's supposed to be. So I'm going to get that, and then I'm going to talk about that a little bit, and then we'll close it out.
Growing up, older men did not speak of marriage with like high esteem. Like, yeah, bro, this is something that you should strive for right here. Marriage, taking care of your family, get you one woman forever. You good. Yeah, this is what you need to be doing. Mm-hmm. That's not the tutelage that we get. We get Man, I miss being single. I mean, I'm here, I'm sacrifice. Marriage and sacrifice. I done had to give up this to make my family work. Damn, my wife all getting on my goddamn nerves. I'm gonna stay at work later than I need to, so I can get away from her ass. And I love my kids, but goddamn, they all on my damn. They get on my nerves. They want money here. Everybody just wants something from me. Shit, I'm stressed. And he died at 54. So it's like us growing up looking at that. What type of incentive do we got to get married?
So there you see, he's right about that, man. That's how men today, feel about marriage, man. And marriage is not, the way Esau has it set up today. It's not smart whatsoever for a man. It's just it's a setup. It's a scam, man. It's just it's built to destroy you. To put it plainly, Esau, with his marriage courts and everything. It destroys men's lives, man. And they're always biased towards the woman. Child support too, man. And Elder Malcolm goes into this all the time. The elder from Chicago, child support isn't even. It's not even about the kids, man. It's about the courts and the state, man. It's not even about the kids. That's, it's a setup, man. It's really all it is. It's just built to destroy the Israelite man. But you see, this is how marriage is looked at today. And when you think about it, it's true. This is how most marriages are. But marriage is a very huge and important thing that's a part of the Israelite heritage, man. The purpose of marriage is the joining of households, man, to forward legacy. Joining of households to continue, just to continue to build, man, to continue to build with our people and to expand as a nation. Resources. It was more business oriented. There was a lot of purposes behind marriage, man, and it was an honorable thing. And it's consummated through the act of sex. First and foremost, but it's not, we did have ceremonies and stuff, of course, but putting a ring on someone's finger that's not marriage, and kissing them as the pastor says the vows or whatever. What consummates the marriage is, breaking that woman's hymen, because when you go into the word sex, it means to cut, and you're cutting that woman's hymen when they're a virgin. That's what they call popping the cherry. That's what consummates the marriage. In the next lesson, we'll get into more of, I'll just get into some other things dealing with, that topic. And as I mentioned earlier, a woman is supposed to only be a one man her whole life, but I'll get that in another video. But so I want to get this dealing with marriage. And this is Hebrews 13:4 reads, "Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled, but whoremongers and adulterers the Most High will judge." So marriage is supposed to be an honorable thing, man. It's supposed to be a beautiful thing amongst our people. And it used to be, it used to be, man. And it got to be done in righteousness, though, because, when you look at, going back to King Solomon, where Solomon went off was when he, when he was taking into the heathen woman as as real wives, because the heathen are supposed to be, lesser wives, concubines. And he started sacrificing to their gods and, idol worshiping. And that's where you get into the law and, the Lord, we have guidelines and the blueprint, as I mentioned earlier, to do everything in righteousness. But, marriage is supposed to be a beautiful thing, man. And it's to help build and to forward legacy and to build, families, to build the nation. So you see Nick Cannon, for example, people look what he's doing, but people are shaming him for having a lot of what they call baby mamas nowadays, for having a lot of women that have his children. Nick Cannon is not doing nothing wrong, man. It's a beautiful thing that he's doing. He's trying to, spread his seed, man. He's forwarding his legacy. That's how it's supposed to be. And he's not even doing it on a really high level. It's just we're at such a low estate that it seems like it's a lot nowadays, but you know, if you have money and everything to take care of your family and all that, but a lot of us don't. But if you have it, you know, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, man. That's how it's supposed to be. And in the kingdom, it's going to be so, you know, so vast that we can't even count, man. What was that in Isaiah? I think it's Isaiah 60. A little one shall become 1,000. You know, and a strong nation. So one Israelite baby is going to end up becoming a nation, in you know, on his own. That's how fruitful, you know, we're going to be in the kingdom. But that's how it's supposed to be. And that natural instinct that men get, you know, to want to have sex with women is a part of that. That's the nature the Lord gave men in order to be fruitful and multiply. But, you know, the point of marriage was more than just sex. It was an honorable thing. You know, that's the point, man. So we're so far removed from that, you know, even us being in the truth, man, we understand we can't even do none of that here, man. You can't even be like that with these women for real. You know, it is what it is, man. But we understand we're in captivity. You know, everything is messed up. You know, we get it. It's just, that's how bad things are, man. It's complete. It's just complete, or it's the complete opposite of how it's supposed to be. Right. So let's get this precept, and then I think we could close it out. And then maybe I'll do one more part and then end this series. But this is Ecclesiastes. So back to Sirach 36 and 22. It reads, "The beauty of a woman cheereth the countenance, and a man loveth nothing better." Right. So the Lord put that in man. He instilled that, you know, that innate instinct for us to be attracted to certain things on a woman. You know, the curvy waistline, you know, their backside, you know, the titties, you know, the lips, the complexion, the hair, you know, eyes, whatever. You know, every man is different, but you know what I'm saying. You know, the Lord put that in us to be attracted to those things, man. And we love women. You know, women get the wrong impression because they're just, you know, they're just, you know, they're just indoctrinated and they're drunk off the wine of Babylon, you know, of this devil's wine. But we really love women. We just hate disorder, you know, because we understand it destroys our people, and it just causes stress and strife for everybody. But we love women, man, and it's in our nature to be like that. So verse 23, "If there be kindness, meekness, and comfort in her tongue, then is not her husband like other men. He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, and a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest." Right, man. So, you know, women don't understand, man. You get it. If you're in order with your man, you get the best version of your man. Point blank, period, you know, because it's in our nature to be that way. But we can't, you know, you rarely find that in this world, this society we live in, man, especially over here in the West. Maybe in the East, you know, you have a better chance, but it's still not how it's supposed to be all the way. But see, it says, you know, when he that getteth a wife begetteth a possession. You know, because a wife is supposed to, she's a help, man. She has a role. She has a job to do. You know, as we read in Genesis to start the video, she's an helpmeet to the man. You know, she's supposed to be a pillar of rest, man. That's how it's supposed to be. That's her role in the marriage, is to help this, you know, that man, her husband, you know, forward that legacy, forward his seed line, forward that family line. You know, all his women, if he has multiple women, that's the point. You know, they're to help forward that legacy, man, and to nurture the kids and hold it down in the house, you know, and be a pillar of rest. And in return, but see, women are so simple, they don't realize they reap benefits just based off doing that. You're gonna, you know, naturally, you're just gonna inherit what that man is bringing forth, because you're a part of what he's doing. You're help forwarding his legacy, and it's in order, you know, because you see a lot of guys take things way too far, and they're simps, and that's another thing we're probably going to touch on probably in the last one. And that's enabling a woman to do a lot of madness. But, you know, it's still, women still deserve to be, you know, to have certain things, to be blessed with certain things. See, women get this, you know, really, they just get a really wrong impression, a misconstrued impression on what, you know, being a helpmeet, being a possession to your man is. You know, Esau has made these things bad terms, but they're not bad terms at all, man. And once you embrace the role and it's done in order, it's a beautiful thing. But that's the point, man. That's where marriage is supposed to be an honorable thing, man. And it was, you know, with our forefathers, but it's gonna get back to that in the kingdom. It's gonna be beautiful in the kingdom, man. And Israelite women aren't gonna be trying to deal with men of other nations, because there's not gonna be no better man than the Israelite man. That's not gonna happen. And Israelite women are gonna be the most beautiful women. They kind of already are now. Let's be real, you know, overall. But in the kingdom is gonna be on another level. So we're gonna just be real, you know, just up there, man. And these other nations aren't gonna stand a chance. And yes, Israelite men still will have heathen women as concubines, you know, but Israelite women will have servants as well. You know, because that's true power. It's human resources, man. It is what it is, and there's a righteous way to do things. But, you know, it's lucky I'm going a little bit off topic, but it all connects. But yeah, man. So that's the point. This was kind of long. I didn't want this to be too long, but it is what it is. That's the spirit. So yeah, Lord willing, this was edifying, man. And you know, Lord willing, through the spirit, it does what it does, and edifies who it needs to edify. So I'm going to close out, give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, Shalom, Kwam Yasharala, and Ababa Ball. And Salakia, I'm actually going to play this one last clip to close out. I forgot to mention it. So, Shalom.
Places a woman should be. Not safe for feminists.
So the first place you need to be is in the laundry room. You can't be having your man come home after a hard day of work and expect him to do the laundry. It's fucking stupid.
Another place that a woman should be in the kitchen. You gotta make sure that your man's got a full belly. You need to be making him a real meal. I don't want these microwave meals. Spend about 2-3 hours in the kitchen to make sure that your man is very satisfied.
And the last place you should be here in the bedroom. Your man's gonna have such a hard day at work. He needs to like relieve some tension. You gotta be here waiting for him after you cook, you clean, you done your laundry. You can relieve some tension because he is not here. He's gonna have someone else do it for him. That's how we do.
3 places